4 different healing modalities to deal specifically with inner child work and shadow work. Let's go. So the first one would be radical acceptance. That's the most difficult to do, but it can absolutely be done. That is where you live in the present moment. You commit to everything that happened in the past no longer exists, and the future has not been written. You tell yourself, you know, in your mind's eye that all of the trauma that you've gone through is at somebody else's hand and had nothing to do with you, and you just drop it like a hot potato. If you're interested in exploring that modality, get Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. That will assist you. Now, the rest of these healing modalities are you going back in visualization techniques to rectify the past, to rewrite it, if you will. So if it comes up in your mind's eye, or if you want to intentionally go back to a certain situation, whether it was trauma, verbally, physically, what have you, you would go back as the version that you are right now. And remember, we're all magicians, so you would freeze the perpetrator, the person that did harm to you. You would actually freeze them. You would see yourself, instead of the event, the trauma event happening, you would see yourself going about your business as about what you're about to do. The cool thing with that is your former self and your current self both know that it happened, but you remove the negative charge from that situation. And the next thing that you would do is go over to that version of yourself and hold them. Hold their hand, hug them, ask them if there's anything that they want to say. And if that's too hard to visualize doing, you just embrace them and you are there for them. And then you can see yourself going and doing something that that person at that age range would want to do. So if it's if it's a version of you that was little, then you'd want to go do what your little self would want to do and experience that with them. Or if it's yourself a week ago, what you like to do a week ago, and how you would make that version of yourself feel comfortable and loved. We're acting as the parent that we never had to that version of ourselves, or to that version of ourselves that lacked the boundaries that we know now on the other side of learning that from that experience. So the reverse is true as well. So if you've done something to somebody else and you have shame, which is the lowest emotion that you can feel, and you want to clear that from your energetic field, you don't want to have soul fragments all over the place. You want to be whole. So if you've harmed anybody in any time, what you want to do is go back to visually to the same instance where you did something, you caused trauma to somebody else, and you would freeze that version of you. So this version of you would go back as the magician and freeze yourself before you did something to that individual and allow them to go about their business as whatever they were about to do. And you would do the same thing. And it's not that you're rewarding that version of yourself for what they did. You're comforting them, letting them know that that version no longer exists, because the current version of you would no longer do that, would never even consider doing that. And in order to become that person that you are now, you have to go back and love the former version that you were. So you would freeze yourself from harming another, then you go over to that version of yourself and you console them, you love them. That is what unconditional love is. It's meaning that you might not have liked the decisions that you've made, but you have to still go back and love that version of you that was so harmed by someone else and that took it out on another individual. It's stopping the cycle, and it's taking the energetic charge out of this situation. So same thing, embrace yourself, go do something that version of you liked to do, and let them know it's okay. This version of you is proof that version would never happen again. And that's what you say to yourself after this type of work too. And I would just never do that again. It's not in me. It's not in my energetic field to do that anymore. And the last version is really, really cool too. Is if you go into meditation and you can just go into your heart space and just send love. Oodles and oodles of love, infinite amounts of love to every version of yourself from all space, time, and dimension. You just get into your heart space and you see yourself in your mind's eye in visualization to all the times that you have been traumatized, hurt, that you were down, that you harmed another, that while that version of you is in that sequence, in that essence of that survival mode or however they were hurt, then they feel the love that this version of yourself is sending at this time. So they like snap out of it, that they feel the love that you're sending from this version of yourself. So it's just like a rapid way to, for all of the times that you were harmed or you harmed someone, that the love that you're sending that version of yourself from this version is feeling it right now, and it snaps them out of that. So I really, really hope these healing modalities helped. Folks, our whole point about healing is to grab those soul fragments that we left in those instances, whether when we were harmed or when we harmed others, to become whole, to love ourselves unconditionally, because we are eternal beings and we have to be with ourselves from here on out. And whenever you do that type of work, you feel more whole as an individual and you love yourself. All versions of yourself come home and are cleansed in God's white light by this healing work of love. Remember, if it's not love, it's not true. I'm Tracy, I'm Rebel with a Cause, and my cause will forever and always be for your self-empowerment. Remember always, you are loved.